for whatever reason, I was waiting on the music for the podcast to start. It's so funny. It's so programmed in my mind. So tonight, we decided to have just a guys' night. I'm going to turn my fan on. Just
Back
give me
to
2
basics.
seconds.
And the boys doesn't just mean Nathan and I. It means the nephew and producer, Brennan.
Brennan's in charge of the show, obviously. I drive it. He kind of controls everything. And we were like, man, we haven't done this before, because this started off with just like, hey, Carlos, come on, you'll be like a consistent guest and then like a co-host. And then it turned into every single week we have just been blessed with unbelievable guests. And then we were like, let's woe back a little bit, because last week's episode, I'm sure you're shocked by it. We thought, you know what? Let's just woe back and give people some breathing room. Nothing against that podcast. One of the most incredible stories ever. And we can talk about, and I was thinking, we don't know what we're going to talk about, but maybe reflecting, seeing where we're at, and, just have a guy's night. And yeah, Brennan is going to be the third co-host tonight, not just the producer. Yeah. So Carlos went on his own and made stickers. You can't see this, I'm sure, but these amazing little stickers of he and I.
We're going to make bigger ones.
We're going to make bigger ones and put QR codes on them and give them to every guest, and then they can stick it in their favorite places, and people can scan it and find the podcast.
Don't stick it in all.
We'll be in every bathroom across your country.
Some of mine are already on in bars and bathrooms, on stop signs.
These?
Those, my sobriety ones.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. Bikers will put them anywhere too. Gas stations.
I can't believe this thing's going as well as it. I'm excited. I'm shocked that I'm excited. I didn't expect to make it this far.
No, momentum.
Yeah. Well, I can credit a lot of that to you. You've really done your part in putting it out there. You let me just kind of post and ghost, and every now and then I post, but it's rare.
Yeah.
But I like to ghost. That's my favorite part.
Sometimes.
If I get to drinking, then I feel like saying something.
Yeah. If I wake up and I see a midnight to 3 a.m. post, I'm like, oh, Nathan was out. Let's see what we got.
Yeah. What do you think about the show, Brennan? What are your thoughts?
I think
you
it's
show
awesome.
up.
It's excelling rapidly. It's growing really fast.
You really enjoy this, don't you? Tell us about it. I want to know from your perspective. How old are you? 22? Mm-hmm. What do you think about this?
I don't know.
Come on. You got something. I know. That's why I did it.
Welcome to the podcast world.
I don't know.
Hot mic.
It's just people have some fascinating stories.
You just enjoy sitting here listening, huh?
It's kind of like, it's like a great learning. I like it because I learn a lot from it.
Really? Do you know how?
That's awesome.
I don't have a word. Awesome. That's
absolutely awesome. It's so funny because I get a lot of how we're doing by looking at Brennan.
Really?
There's times where he is so locked in and engaged where I'm like, I don't know how he keeps his fingers switching
forgets.
the cameras.
I do forget.
He forgets.
Or I'll see him laughing, or just his mouth is open because he can't believe what the guest just said. And I'm just like, yeah, I had that feeling too. Okay, there's another person doing it.
Yeah, I don't get to have that experience with him. I have you guys, so he's behind me. Yeah, we'll set this thing up in the next studio to where maybe we can all see each other.
I think that would be a good idea.
different
interesting
format.
To feed back from one another.
What do you mean?
Because you can see, you're very expressive. So is Brennan. So I can see from your faces if you're locked in, if you like the idea. If you're just, let me see where that's going. If you're completely mesmerized, or if we're just chugging along, which all of it is okay because it's a part of it. But I feel like I'm pretty expressive. You know how to read me pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. So, because I just go back to that time where I was freaking out.
And I don't remember it. It was your first episode?
No, not at all. It was a non-published episode. And
we did a non-published episode.
We did more than one non-published.
It was episode 49. I know because I built a new AI.
Yeah, you told me this.
I built this amazing AI that has complete control, not this computer, that computer, and it has completely reorganized every file on my system, or it's in the middle of it, because I don't know how many terabytes of hard drives I have, but got to be 20 something terabytes right there on the desk. And then all these small drives. And I'm like, help me with the chaos that is my life. And then you have Google Drives, and I have so many files for work and then personal and then the podcast. And I was like, I don't know what to do with all these. So I built an AI that has been running my computer for a few days now. Why was I telling you that? Because you said something.
Because you know how to read me when I was
No, that wasn't
anxiety during a podcast.
Oh, so what happened was it flagged those two podcasts. It said, I don't understand what these are. And so I was like, oh, that's the unreleased podcast. I have a couple unreleased
There's a couple,
podcasts.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, what am I going to do with that? But it has it. It has access to it. It knows about the podcast. It knows everything. Oh, and it built me a whole app with every episode. It's got them all cataloged. You can go in and it's pretty incredible. The future is here. It's kind of terrifying.
Future's in this room.
It's kind of terrifying.
Well, you are the architect of our doom.
Everybody asks me, no, not really. I'm just trying to keep up with the shit. I'm not really designing anything. I'm just using the tools that they're giving us, and I'm learning how to leverage them for everyday things, and then trying to understand its limitations. And everybody asked me for a while, what are you going to do with all this? I said, raise bees, because we're going to be in the damn dark ages soon.
And we need bees.
We do. We do. It's so funny to be into technology as a technologist, and all I think about is like basic things. Like I'm drawn to the most basic things. Survival.
I mean, you've heard the saying, back to basics.
Yeah. I know somebody that has an album called Back to Basics.
Whether
Renee Haggard. At the time, she was Renee Haggard. And she wrote an album called Back to Basics. I'm going back to basics. I can't remember exactly how it goes, but
any relation to Merle?
I think probably somewhere along that line. She is part owner in Common John's in Manchester.
Oh, wow.
She kind of raised me for a short time when my dad kicked me out. I was like, Renee, my dad kicked me out. And she said, come here, baby. You can live with us.
Good people.
Yeah.
Jeez.
She was amazing. Yeah. So we're trying to find our way here, if you can't tell. We're so used to having a guest to carry it. We don't know what we're doing.
Normally we're like, we have stuff going on. I just had my brain is still decompressing. Some days take it out of you, man.
Well, maybe we'll just try this.
Yeah.
The program that we've developed for reentry.
Yeah.
Maybe I can tell this.
I don't see why you shouldn't.
So we developed a program for individuals that have been, we thought, suffering from addiction and to avoid jail. We created this program to get them back in the workforce. And of course, we don't know anything about their background. We can't even ask, right? That goes through a special program. Then it goes to a third party, background checks done. And out of everyone, we have passed, and they've all done good. Like we have like a 90% pass rate. And they're killing it because they feel hope, they have direction. But at the end of the day, companies have limits.
Of course.
And holy crap. I just found out we've had our second murderer that came into the program.
Wow.
I'm like, holy shit, what are they sending us, man? And not all of them are murderers, but pretty heavy crimes. And I was thinking about you in the program, because when I thought about it, I was imagining recovery court, what you went through, and Luisito and John, and I was thinking that's the quality of individuals we're getting. And I was thinking we should be partnering with the Veterans Court. Is that possible? Can you help me with that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I can at least put you with the right people.
Okay, because we built this program, and it is wildly successful, but we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And we're still working. We're putting together a job fair. We're still going to get these people employed one way or another. But some companies have more restrictions.
Well, as you heard from Jonathan last week, some of us have crazy stories, but there are no murderers or sexual predators within the veterans program. That's their limit.
Wasn't supposed to be any in this program, but a few have slipped through.
Who the hell is doing your background checks?
Nobody. It's been an honor system, come to find out.
Okay. As much as I believe in second chances, I don't think there's a lot of honor system when you're first getting in with people that are either dealing with addiction or coming out of jail.
Yeah.
They got to kind of earn that.
We're restructuring. we're restructuring. To even get in the program, there will be some kind of background check. We're trying to figure that out. The grant will pay for that.
Right.
But you know, this system doesn't exist. This program we're building, it's a project. So we're living and learning in real time.
So may I ask what the outcome of the people you discovered ended lives?
We do not invite them back, obviously.
That's fair.
Well, because that's what it's based on. It's not fair. I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried. People do dumb shit, you know. I don't feel like they're a threat, but it's a waste of their time.
Yeah, not exactly.
And they're taking up a seat that someone else could be taking. We only take 10 at a time.
Yeah, I would want that seat filled with a non-murdering human.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
I think I don't know. I'm a little bothered that it doesn't bother you.
This is what's funny. On the very first day, one gentleman we found out he didn't have a murder 30 years ago, but just got out of prison, so he hasn't really had a chance to like prove himself. Great guy, really liked him, smart dude. He's a programmer. Learned it in prison.
30 years worth.
And we were just talking about, put everything down on your background check, yada, yada, yada. Just, put everything. I mean, but if you're a murderer, you ain't going to get in. And he goes, what about me? I did one 30 years ago. And nobody spoke up after that. Everybody's been quiet. And unfortunately, the young man, which I really like the dude too, I found out today just with a simple Google check. I didn't do the Google check. Someone else did, and it popped up. It's public knowledge. So I didn't do a background check. I was just told today, I was like, he was smart. He didn't say shit. He's like, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. But it's funny. Do people think they're going to slip through?
I mean, you never know. There were people in the veterans program that were like, kind of like, oh, I can't find my paperwork, and just got out of jail for a little while, bought themselves some time. Come to find out they were never veterans. Never
really?
Like a day. It was one of those like, I was gonna enlist, and eventually when the judge and those guys find out, you get in a lot of trouble.
That's crazy.
Not only
they would even attempt it.
Oh yeah, people will try anything, man.
So how do they vet? How do they vet for the Veterans Court? Because you say they can't have any violent offenses. Well, what are they doing differently? Because we don't choose who comes in the program; they're given to us, and then we run them through.
You have to apply for the veterans program, number one.
Okay, so they obviously do a background check.
They do a background check, a one-on-one interview. They check your military records. They send for them. You have to have your DD-214.
Yeah,
like they vet that you are a vet, and then of course, since we partner with law enforcement, and Lieutenant Grissom, amazing human being, is on the treatment team. He does all the criminal stuff. Of course, we have the DA. We have a lot of people involved, so they know your whole history.
Well, since this program's already going to be moving into military, I would think it's just a right fit since we're trying to do recovery.
Be an easy plug-in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to eliminate individuals that's coming through just the regular courts. I would love to hire all of them, but we can't. There's restrictions. And the reason why we can't is because we have thousands of employees, and we cannot risk, putting them in our population. We have to protect our own people. So that's why we're strict. We'd love to give you a chance, but you made a mistake. That's fine. But we don't have to pay the price for your mistakes.
Right. There's consequences. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's an incentive, at least the veteran side there's a big incentive for employers, because I think it's a tax write-off or something like that. If a certain amount of your employees are veterans. Because I know they went through that in my office. They went through they counted down all the veterans and submitted us, and the company got some sort of break for it.
Funny enough, I was doing a tour the other day at the plant, and I'm walking out, and as I walked past the veterans board, my name jumped out at me. I'm like, oh shit, there's my name. It was literally the only name I saw out of hundreds of names. I'm thinking, I've never even noticed. I've walked past the sign 100 times and never noticed. I never really looked, but for some reason it just started glowing at me. Like, my name's on there.
Yeah. Kind of forget.
I do forget. I forget that I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
See, I have a hard time with claiming, they asked you to stand up if you're a veteran. I'm like, I ain't standing up. Because I think of a veteran, I think people that got deployed. You know?
Not just-
So,
yeah, it's wore the uniform, whatever. but
yeah.
I could see it. Also, I could see you just going, I'm not going to get up because you told me to.
That's true.
You know?
That is true. I was thought about Brennan. He would be, he may get drafted. You know, they raised it to 42. What are we going to do if you get drafted?
Wait. I'm 42. I can get drafted until October.
Dude.
I get drafted until October.
Well, you may need to start preparing for that.
I mean, I'm in pretty good shape.
I talked to Brennan about going in the military. I think you'd be better off joining before you get drafted. Would you consider it? If you were going
out of it?
If you were going to go into the military, what branch would you choose?
I wouldn't even know any of them.
The
It's probably
Navy.
fine.
No.
The Navy or Air Force?
Air Force. Hotter women, better food.
That's
all I gotta say.
He's already got a woman, but better food. There's a perk.
Word.
Navy, great after. I mean, there's a lot of like squid jokes and dancing with sheep and maybe a couple of Marines, but the opportunities afterwards are pretty good.
I don't want you joining the Marines or the Army. Join the National. Join the Coast Guard.
Join the Coast Guard. Do you know that they're the only branch of the military that can arrest civilians?
Really?
Really?
Yes.
Tell us more.
Because they do that drug interdiction, I said that right. So you've seen those videos of these guys on like those dinghies jumping off the boat onto like submarines full of cocaine and doing crazy stuff. They're ripping the thing off, sticking a weapon in there. It's pretty badass, man. They're the only ones that can legally detain civilians.
They're the only ones that get shit on by all the other branches.
Yeah, called puddle pirates and all sorts of crap. But they're like, honestly, Coast Guard divers and those drug interdiction guys are some bad mamma jammas.
Rescue, though.
They
The
are.
rescue side.
That's what I'm saying. Those
That would
rescue
be-
swimmers, man,
Yeah.
like they are hardcore. Bro.
You're a good swimmer.
Maybe a little bit.
You're a great swimmer. You like jumping off cliffs. He likes doing flips off cliffs.
As long as the water's not cold.
Oh, yeah. He's
buddy.
allergic to cold water, believe it or not. He's
What are
allergic.
you not allergic to?
Dude, it's
Dude, what is
unfortunate.
wrong with your genetics?
You tell me.
So
It isn't
Yes,
for me.
man.
It's not for me. I'm not allergic to
well,
shit.
listen, put it on your wish list. Join the Coast Guard and go to Miami and mess with all the drug dealers.
That'd be fun.
I also got asthma, so I
They
feel
don't
like that's
care.
a red flag.
Oh, well, that's probably self-induced asthma.
Yes, I believe it is cured. Sana culito de rana si no se sano ese sana mañana.
Yeah, he should be growing out of his asthma, but he has some bad habits.
Yes, he should be growing
By the way-
out of it at 22 years old.
Yeah, they don't even care about weed these days.
Listen, I remember when they were like, you have too many tattoos. You can't do this. Now they waive everything.
Everything.
There's a waiver for everything. They need bodies.
I had to have waivers because of my driving record. I had to have 3 state waivers because my driving record was so bad.
I believe this.
Reckless driving, not reckless endangerment, but maybe it was reckless endangerment. I was for doing donuts in a field. What else was there? I'd lost my license 3 times.
Who the hell are you endangering in a field? A scarecrow?
Bunch of girls. Raising hell. Doing like
showing.
70 across a field, just doing donuts, throwing mud up in there. And state trooper, Donnie Clark. Donnie Clark busted me. Yeah.
You know he's tough with a name like that.
Yeah. I'll tell a quick story about Donnie Clark. So we had this amazing bar that my friend, he was actually my recruiter in the military because I joined the Navy, and my buddy, it was one of my dad's best friend, Paul Lowry. He's no longer with us, but man, talking about an idol in my life. And I know we're not supposed to have idols, but I'm going to tell you, I looked up to this man.
Someone you admired, not an idol.
Loved this man. One of the coolest people you ever meet. Great singer, played bass, had a band called Y2K in a bar that he owned called the Millennium. He opened it up in 1999. And so in 1997 is when I joined the military, and I worked for my parents, and he was an Army National Guard recruiter, and I joined the Navy, following in my dad's footsteps. And he's like, boy, you don't need to join the damn Navy. Just come over with me. And I was like, well, I already went through MEPS. I've already signed up. I've already sworn in. He goes, I got you. So I call the Navy guys, and they raise hell. They're like, you can't. Anyways, Paul's like, I got you. Don't worry about it. So he somehow or another works his magic and gets me transferred to the National Guard. And then I have to go through the whole program. And that's when I had to get the 3 state waivers. And I admitted to smoking weed. And I think I'd smoked weed 2 or 3 times. And that was a lie. I'm not a big pothead. I never was. I didn't really enjoy it very much. All my friends were potheads. But they flagged it and wouldn't let me in. And he reworked it and he said, no, I puffed on a marijuana cigarette 2 to 3 times. Wow. So what was the story I was going to tell you about Paul? I was going to tell you a story about him.
Well, aside from...
Oh, well, no, it wasn't him. It was about his bar. So I had a mechanic shop in Tullahoma. I owned East Lincoln Auto. I was 21 years old, and I opened up a Jiffy Lube. It was like a 3-bay garage. And it had like 4 gas pumps. And I did good for myself. But I was working on, I just bought this like Ford Bronco, and the front seal on the transmission had popped out. And I fixed it real quick, dropped transmission, fix it, put it back in. And the linkage, something was wrong with the linkage. I was waiting on a part. So I drove it that night to the Millennium. I'm done for the night. I come outside. I get inside the Bronco. Well, to drive it, you had to start it, hit the parking brake so you didn't kill yourself, crawl under it, shift it manually, shift it into drive, get back in it, release the parking brake, and then I can drive away. It was just like a one-day thing, and I needed to drive it. And I needed to test it. So I do the whole thing. I get back in it. I'm about to drive away, and all of a sudden I hear, and I turn, and it's 6 state troopers, at least 6, staring at me through the window. And it's Donnie Clark. Mr. Carroll, was you about to leave? I said, no, sir. I was just getting here. About to go in and have a good time. Shut it off. I get out. I go inside. I walk out the back door, come right around, jump back and go through the whole process and drive away. That's when I was young, and drinking and driving was part of our culture back then. But yeah, that was a real story.
Wow. Wow.
Did I ever tell you these stories?
Nope,
I probably shouldn't. I probably shouldn't tell these stories, but I was kind of wild growing up. We all were, though. It was the 90s.
Yeah. No,
it was a different time.
I did a lot of stuff I'm glad there wasn't cameras for.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm so proud that my kids have been, I don't know, tell us some stories, Brennan. Have you been a saint your whole life, or how much have you got away with that I didn't know about?
Pretty much a saint, honestly.
You've never been big into drinking, though?
No, unless it's for a good occasion.
For a good occasion or an occasion?
For a good occasion.
Yeah, and you sit at home,
fun.
him
Like
and his
a
girlfriend.
or something.
I bought him an old. I bought him an old
wedding, really. I've been to one actually. I went to my brother's wedding, but I'm too young to drink then. So.
He was. I took him out for his 21st birthday. He and Mal to Skulls Rainbow and a couple other places, and I got him his first old fashioned. I had to drink it for him because he wasn't really into it.
I'm pretty sure I drank it.
Not the whole thing.
Pretty
you sure?
They're so good. I remember those, man. And there's a place in Clarksville. It's like a boutique hotel where I was introduced to Lyres, Lyres, and it's a non-alcoholic bourbon. And she made me a smoked old fashioned. And whatever they did, there's like a pepper mix or something in there, right? So when I'm drinking it, it burned a little as you drank it. So you had the sensation of drinking booze. Yeah. And it was the best non-alcoholic smoked old fashioned. And I was like, well, the first and the best. And I was like, this is crazy. Like I went back to the girl and I was like, hey, I'm sober. You know, and she's like, I promise you it's this. They just did a really good job. It's one of my favorite drinks.
Yeah, I love.
Insane.
I don't drink old fashions to get drunk. That's crazy. I drink them because they taste amazing.
Yeah. Well, you're not supposed to really pound.
No, I don't. Well, I don't pound whiskey, period. I don't do shots. Ever.
But delicious.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember where the hell I said.
I've never heard of a non-alcoholic whiskey or.
Yeah, the tequila suck. All the other ones, because I've went through my phase of trying everything.
And I think the thing about you is what is it? So you can participate and still tip. Because how are you going to tip on a water?
Yeah, I mean you do. But,
yeah, I know, but
like I enjoy the taste.
Okay.
So like I was a big I love single malt scotch and bourbons and all that stuff. It's just I can't have it. So if I can have a participation prize drink, you know, that gave me a little. Hey, I got the tingle. It was great. No consequences. We're solid. Keep it moving, you know?
Yeah, you're killing it without the alcohol. Yeah. You're a better person without it.
1,000%.
It's incredible.
Well, what, like night and day.
Yeah. So what are you doing besides the gym? Because the gym's been supplementing.
The gym's a big supplement.
Yeah.
Podcasting.
Podcasting.
This is a big outlet for me now.
Yeah.
And of course, the bike.
The bike. You know, I haven't ridden mine.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It's embarrassing.
Also, I don't know. Could we all like remind him that he needs a Harley?
Well, I haven't sold that bike.
You sold one.
I know, but I got to sell another one. I need to sell that bike. That was a dirt bike. That doesn't count.
All right. Well, I'm just saying.
I was selling that one regardless.
It's an excuse. Can't.
I don't even know if I want a Harley anymore.
You want a Harley?
Do you think so?
Yes.
As it's warming up, I've been thinking about the Duke. I've been thinking I want to get back on it and make videos. I haven't made any videos in a
A
while.
lot of great videos on a Harley.
I could make a lot of great videos. You know, you should, Carlos, you should think about this. You should let me hook you up with a microphone inside your helmet, and you can ride around and do your therapy on your Harley and just chit chat.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch it.
Just talking crap as I'm riding.
Well, I don't know if you have to talk crap. Whatever comes to mind,
That's
if it's
gonna be
crap.
fun.
So, do you think?
I'll be like, look at that fat ass. No.
Well, I mean, it's very therapeutic. I went back and saw some of my old motorcycle videos. I had one called, made 8 years ago. No, it wasn't 8 years ago. It was 4 years ago, 3.5, 4 years ago. And it was Overcoming Darkness.
Ooh.
And because, you know, you single, you know what I mean? I went into being single without any backup plan. And boy, it was tough, man. It was tough being married half your life and then deciding, well, it wasn't an overnight decision, but like deciding, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And I will probably be single for the rest of my life. If I couldn't make that one work, I don't think I can make anything work. And boy, it was 8 months. Oh, no, it was a couple years. But for 8 months, I really kind of struggled like, what? Did I make a mistake? Of course you're going to think that. But finally, I started getting my head up. I read a great book called Letting Go by Dr. David Hawkins. And after I finished that book, I felt inspired and I was feeling good and went out and made a video about navigating the darkness of life and intrusive thoughts and what intrusive thoughts are. And that got me thinking about what schizophrenia is. And it's like, oh, that's probably just people that can't control the thoughts. They keep feeding these thoughts that enter their mind and they become crazy and you don't even know it's real anymore. Anyway, letting go is letting go of those thoughts. That's what it starts with.
Well, I'll say it right now. I'll take you up on that because there's some people that come to mind that I follow that do some pretty awesome stuff. I don't do the stunt stuff or any of that, but there's this one dude, the first dude that came to mind, does a Bible verse and
Really?
he explains it to you. And he's one of those personalities, never show his face. It's always him on a bike with his helmet on and he's talking through his helmet, right? Anonymity.
Yep.
But he will do a wheelie across a parking lot while reading a Bible verse to you and explaining it. Or sometimes he's just sitting in front of his bike or doing stuff. Like he gets really creative, but that's his shtick.
Yeah.
He does a Bible verse a day with a little explanation or something that's going on in his life. Short, like here's the Bible verse, here's the quick thing, have a great day, God bless. There's a couple other guys that'll explain things or they'll do quick shorts, like whether it be about relationships or life or motivational or stuff. And I was like, I could do that.
You
I could
could.
see myself doing that.
I was going out.
Just for fun.
I think it's important to make something. Just put something out. Putting something out creative is very healthy for the soul. So since I've been doing this, I haven't felt the urge to go out and make a video because this is pretty time
We do a
consuming.
pretty heavy video once a week.
Yeah. But I do miss storytelling. I love it. And I don't know if you've ever seen any of mine. I'll ride wheelies and just tell stories. Oh, you haven't seen them? I'll ride
haven't
down
seen
railroad tracks. I'll ride wheelies and I'll tell like a story from my childhood or I stole a backhoe once to throw a party in high school. I told a story about where my buddy that lived down the road murdered a woman. Yeah, tried to eat the body. I didn't try. I started to eat it. Couldn't get the whole thing. It was complicated. Yeah, I would just ride around and tell stories. I'd go in like the caves and told this one story where I used to go in this train tunnel in Cowan and I'd take groups of people in there and wait for the train to come by. And then one night we went in without a flashlight and I had a quart of oil. And of all times I decided, let's go to the end of the tunnel. Never made it to the end before in my life. So we decided to burn a rag covered in motor oil, make it to the end. The motor oil burned out, so we started burning our clothes, me and my buddy and these two chicks, 3 of my best friends. And then we got trapped in the train tunnel because we ran out of clothes to burn. We're down there in bras and shorts. That's all we got. We got shorts on. That's it. And we're walking down the tunnel so black, I could not like you didn't know if somebody was in front of him. We're like navigating the train tracks, and then I could hear the train coming. I'm like, oh shit, we got to lay down beside the train tracks, and there's a ditch on both sides. And I made a video showing where I did it, and while I was there, the train come through, and it shows how close the train is to the walls.
Just
It's amazing. So they all laid down face down, and I laid face up and waited for the train. You can see as the train's coming in, then it just goes black, right over your face. It was amazing. Laura peed on herself.
yeah, I could see that being a little tinkle.
But that's the stories I'd tell. I'd ride around, ride wheelies, and
Well, see, mine would have to be really short, like dad jokes or really quick motivational things.
you
because
have stories.
I am not doing anything, but I don't do any cool stuff. Like I'm not doing wheelies. I'm not doing burnouts. I'm not doing any of that. It's going to be beautiful scenery and my voice.
You have to have stories that you can tell that you want to stay alive. I have thousands of stories. My life,
Right,
I
but
live
you
my
do it
life.
riding down railroad tracks.
Yeah. Well, I live my life so there's a story to tell at the end of it. Every adventure is with the intentions of doing something so adventurous that there's going to be a story at the end of it. Now, it doesn't always work out that way, but 99% of the time it does.
I mean, I got to survive to tell the story.
Yeah. Well, your childhood stuff too, you know.
Yeah, that's
Since
true.
I was a kid, everything I did was like
I mean, I got cool stories. It would just be short. They would be short.
tell one. Tell us a story,
know.
Carlos. I think we could all tell a story tonight. Brennan, you'd be thinking of one too.
I'm not sure if I have.
I could probably start. You have to have a
He said,
life.
Not on the spot.
Look, you have to have a story. You're going to preserve this forever. Someday you're going to have grandkids. You know, you need to let them know where they came from. So when they're like, "Why am I so damn retarded?" Yeah, they can point back at you and be like, "That's why."
Hey, friends, he said it.
Do you have any good stories? I got plenty. I mean, I can start. I can just name it and I'll tell a story.
All I can think about is like TV shows or stuff that I've seen.
What?
Recently. That's all I'm thinking of. I don't know.
You have to have had something
I've got
so
amazing stories. Can't think of one right now.
really
Yeah, I
on
don't
the
know.
spot.
I think it was just
You're a good storyteller.
usually
though.
really good on the spot too. It's just they screwed me up.
Let me think of a story I haven't already told. I've told so many stories. I don't know if I can think of any. Okay, Talladega. I'll tell a story about Talladega.
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake, baby. So Talladega has an infield and it has an outfield. It's funny because I'm telling this story without remembering the end, but it will come to me, and I'm thinking maybe I can't tell this story. It's coming to me because I got a text message the other day from a buddy of mine that was involved. So have you ever been to Talladega?
Negative.
I don't know if I said that right. Talladega. So the infield and the outfield are totally different. This is in the 90s. The outfield was wild, and they had these things called titty checks. Okay, so you drive through, everybody's in trucks, and there's these places, these sections that people flashed. That's just what it was. There's routes. There's like roads. They build like a whole city out there, and it's, what would the word be? What's the word I'm looking for?
All I can think of is Mad Max. I don't know.
No. I'm thinking like total, like debauchery.
Debauchery.
What's
Okay.
that word mean?
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Okay, it's kind of like that. And
Okay.
I remember once that there was this pit that people started like driving their cars through, and then it got muddier and muddier, and then all these four-wheel drives come out. They flew a helicopter in to break it up. It was so chaotic. Hundreds of people. It was like a football field side. It was just crazy. And it's just like 3 days of nothing but drinking and chaos. And you just cruise. And I'm a kid. I'm like 17, 18, 19 years old. Probably 18, 19. And I'm driving my buddy's red Dodge Ram. And I have this girl next to me. Oh, I can't tell this story, can I? Screw it. I'm going to tell it. And if I don't like it, I'll delete it. Tracy. Shout out Tracy. She texted me this week too and sent me a quote I used to say, all you do and all you see is all your life will ever be. And she just completely uprooted her life and moved. And she sent me that. Like, you're right. Life's, if you don't have memories,
Wow.
if you don't live a life that is full of memories, then you got nothing at the end. So it's funny that I hear back from two people in this week that's part of this story. Maybe that's why that story came to me. So I'm driving Josh's truck. There's like 3 people in the back of the truck that I know, and there's probably 7 that I don't know. So it's full of people. It's myself, Tracy, and Josh. I won't give last names. So we're going through one of these checks. Oh my God, can I even tell this story? I'm going to tell it. So we stop, and you're required to flash. And I climb out on the windowsill and I said, Tracy, would you show everything? She goes, hell yeah, I will. I don't know if I should tell this story. Okay, so I'm like, so I get out on the windowsill of this truck. I'm so embarrassed to tell this because I was wild. And I said, well, I didn't really have enough money to get into the race. Like I was like down, I was poor, man. I was a kid. I didn't have much money. And I said, for $250, this girl will take it all off. And there's 1,000 people deep. Like it's a lot of people. She crawls through the back window and she's teasing them. Well, here comes the cash. They're just dollar bills, different denominations, whatever. Yeah. And I'm counting as it's coming in and I get close to like $75. It's a wad of cash. And the whole damn thing on both sides of the truck, people are going crazy. And because she's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And she's not showing anything yet, but she's teasing them. And all of a sudden I said, it's not enough. We agree. I'm talking shit to everybody, and it's a bunch of drunk dudes. And I was like, nope, we ain't gonna do it. If you don't pay up, we're not doing it. So I throw the cash back out into the crowd. And oh my God, I got grabbed by the waist and pulled out of the truck, and I'm holding on with my fingertips, and I could still reach the brake pedal. I remember this because my buddy Josh freaks out, throws the truck in drive, goes to the floorboard, and hand on the gas pedal. And Tracy's trying to get back in, and they're throwing full beer cans and beer bottles at us. And I'll never forget it. Somebody grabbed my hat, and it was getting passed down by the truck, and my buddy Aaron grabbed my hat back, and they're throwing them back. Like within 2 feet of each other, beer bottles and beer cans hitting people, and I'm getting pulled out of the truck. And I'm holding the brake, and I'm screaming at Josh, no, because I just knew we were going to kill somebody. And we were literally pushing people out of the way, getting out of there. It was the closest to death from an event. Is that crazy?
What?
It's a true story, man. I swear to God, it's a true story.
Well, if you're gonna flash for free. I guess that's
the lesson learned. So was that too much?
Yikes!
Do you think I have to delete that story?
Let's let that marinate a couple days.
Brennan, have I ever told you that story?
No, you have not told me that story.
Look, it's part of my childhood, and I was an innocent, fun kid, not thinking.
Yeah, that sounded real innocent.
Not thinking. I thought it was funny. Anything for a gag, And I needed $250 to get in this damn job. Hell, I was a pimp. Now that I think about it, God, that's bad.
I hope Amy doesn't listen to this. She's gonna think even worse of you than that.
You can't judge me for being naive and retarded.
Well, you listening?
I almost panicked as soon as I agreed to tell that story because my kid's here. But he's grown up now. He won't follow in those examples.
Yeah, I don't really see Brennan doing that.
I have 1 million outrunning the cop stories I could tell. Millions a stretch. It's probably a couple hundred. What about you? I told a story, but was that too much of a story?
Statute of limitations on running from cops.
Isn't that crazy? But that's kind of the stories that we were involved in. Like the stuff that we would get into would always be to some extreme level.
If you're involved, I could see that.
And I just thought we was having fun.
Does this make sense, people, to why he is the way he is?
I don't know if that's why I am the way I am. I've just always been this way.
Huh. You were a mad scientist even back then.
Does that shock you?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Like it's a wild ass story for a 17-year-old kid.
18 maybe.
But it was the 90s and it's you.
Yeah. Anything for a party. And for me, a party is not just about getting drunk. It's just about having fun.
Just doing something nuts.
And it's Talladega. Like that story's probably not that unusual for Talladega. Anybody that was going to Talladega in the 90s, like that was it. It was crazy.
Wow.
Talladega
going to
nights.
something kind of similar.
Yeah.
Called it's the Tennessee Music Revival, Music and Motorcycle Revival, something like that at a Loretta Lynn's ranch.
Yeah.
It's coming up. And it's 3 days of that. And they say
you're going to come back with a story?
Wild. I'm only going on a Saturday.
Okay.
I'm gonna go test the waters, see what it's like, and see if it's for me or not. I'm not quite as wild as I used to be.
Let me propose this. What's the craziest story? Because you have them.
Nope.
What's the craziest story you would feel comfortable telling on this podcast? When you was in Jersey. Give me something from Jersey.
In Jersey, good God Almighty, that's crazy. There's a lot of stories there, but right now I plead the fifth respectfully on the grounds that I may incriminate myself.
I just did too. It's okay. There's a statute of limitations.
I don't know.
Honestly, Carlos, this is the difference between Carlos and I.
Blank,
it's so funny because Carlos has a squeaky clean image.
I do not have a squeaky
You
clean.
kind
No,
of.
sir, I do not. No, sir, I do
I'm
not.
the guy that comes across as the the degenerate. Like I'm always putting myself out there as the degenerate, and you're always so polished.
I'm not polished. I'm. Trust me, I have my share of skeletons.
But you won't
and
talk
dirt.
about them.
Well, I genuinely can't think of any right now. But like,
Let's turn to Brennan.
Let's not do that.
Come on, give me one story.
I don't have.
Give me one death-defying story.
I don't want to do that.
Why not? Switch the camera to you.
I've been doing a bad job of switching it to me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Give me one story.
I don't.
Come on, I'm not going to be
I
ashamed
just
of
don't
you.
think I can.
Come on, it was probably a skating ring.
reaction right there. is so
Did
Did you ever have you ever outrun the cops?
Yeah.
Did you? What was you driving?
Only one time. In my Jeep, and I didn't outrun him. I just outsmarted him.
That's my boy. That's my
Garrett
boy.
was with me.
I've had some of the slowest high-speed chases you've ever seen because I never had tags.
slow high speed chase.
Yeah, because I never had a license and I never had a vehicle that was actually registered because I just buy them and I never wanted to pay taxes on them. So I would just buy, sell, trade. And I'd go through so many vehicles that I couldn't afford the taxes on all these vehicles. So what I'd do is if it was a truck, like a single cab truck, because they all were back then, I kept the plates behind the seat. So if I ever did get pulled over, I would be like, oh, they fail. They fail. Oh, they're right here. See, I got them. And then they'd let me go. But if I was doing something wrong, I didn't stop. I would just put away, hit a trail, never stop. And they couldn't do anything because no tags. And so when I went to Chicago, I didn't like paying for the tolls. It was expensive. When you're like in a tow truck and you're hauling a car and those damn toll roads would bust you, and I would blow through the I-passes, which is expensive. So I would, whatever truck I was assigned to, I would take the plates off the back and I'd put them behind the back seat. So when I did get pulled over, I would just play dumb and say, oh, they fell out of the window. You need to fix that. But I would blow every I-pass there was so I could avoid paying the penalty.
Wow. Easy. I remember that in Jersey. We had it when Easy Pass first came out.
Easy Pass, I-Pass.
Yeah. And if you blew that, though, you bet your ass you were getting a ticket in the mail really soon with a picture of you.
Yeah. So what about you, Brennan? Let's
Not
hear
much
about
to
this
tell,
slow
really.
speed because your Jeep is not fast. So how did you get into this issue?
Doing bad things.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Did you commit a crime?
No, me and Garrett were at the top of Tiger Hill, you know, where you can
Yeah,
sit and look over.
you put it on camera 3 there.
I don't know.
Put it on camera 3.
Let
You
the
can't
people
just
see
leave it on
you,
my
brother.
Yeah.
It's not
So
that exciting.
Tiger Hill is a place that I used to take my kids all the time. They learn how to, I mean, we learn a lot up there, but yeah. Go ahead.
We were just sitting there at the top of the hill looking over the lights, and we're happening to be doing illegal activities.
Yeah,
Just
smoking a
chilling.
little weed.
Yeah, just chilling. And then a car was coming up, and I was like, we got to go. And then Garrett was like, oh, no, we're fine. And then it happened to be a cop, and he pulled up, and I literally had it in my hand and just sitting there. And I just held my hand down to the shifter, rolled down my window, and started talking like it was another day. And then he was like, whatever. And then he pulled off, and then another one came up, and then he stopped, and then he started talking to me, and then he pulled off, and then they were both facing away from me. So if they were going to come after me, they were going to have to turn around. So then he got out of his car and started walking up to the Jeep. So I just rolled the window. I was gone.
You didn't have to take the trail?
I went down the hill, and then I went right. So their blue lights came on, and I was like, oh, God. And then they had to turn around. So instead of going straight, I went right. And then going back out to the road where you could have went, I went down to the dead end where I had a trail
Yeah.
made, and then I
That's
went
my
up the
boy.
trail, and then I turned around and I watched them went left, and then I went right, and then I was gone. And that was all.
Look,
So not that
two
exciting.
fine young men smoking a doobie, watching the lights, not causing any problems, minding their own business, contemplating life.
Yeah.
It's complicated when you're a kid. And honestly, it's probably my fault they smoked weed because I only had one rule: don't drink and drive. I'd rather see you smoke weed, and I was saying this to you guys when they were like before a teenager. I'd like brainwash them. I was like, I'd rather see you smoke weed, not thinking they're going to smoke weed. I didn't like it, so I didn't think anything about it. But I said, I'd rather see you smoke weed than drink and drive. Don't put someone else's life in danger. Well, he took it seriously. I couldn't figure out when he was like, what was 15? I kept finding these damn apples around the house with like a core out of them.
Stupid. Well, me and
They were
Jay-
like in the backyard. I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm so naive. I don't know anything. And they were using them as pipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and his little neighborhood
Yeah,
kid.
even I know that.
Well, I don't know anything. I'm kind of naive.
Well,
when it
we
comes
were
to that.
really
My kid
slick,
really
and
likes
then we
fruit.
got confident, and then everything went down. We're like, oh, we're smooth with it now. You kind of get retarded after some time.
Yeah.
Get confident.
So I'll tell two stories with that. They kind of go with both of them. So I'll just tell it. I have a friend that was growing it. He didn't really smoke it. I'm going to tell it. I had a friend that was growing it for veterans, and he was giving it away. And I thought, that's sweet, man. Dude, I'll give some away because I didn't smoke it. And so I had this jar in my garage. I just put it in there and didn't think anything about it. And I kind of forgot about it. And I came home one day and I noticed that it was empty. This is a gallon jar, massive, and it was empty. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? It was probably a month, I'm guessing, before I remembered that it was even there. And this little shit. Oh, I was so mad. I ended up drug testing him. I'm like, nope, you ain't driving. And we were drug testing our own kid in the house.
Sucked.
He would have to take drug tests. I was not having it. I'm like, I didn't allow this stuff. And I don't care him talking about it now, You got by with a few things. But yeah, but you was an amazing kid. And I'm not even upset with you about that. So since you told your one story where the cop came, I'll tell another story about a friend of mine. I wasn't there. I was shooting pool at a buddy of mine's, and my friend with his chick showed up in a panic. Like, I'll tell parts of the story because that'd be okay. I'll just tell parts of the story. I won't give all the details. Maybe I'll shift the details. So he's so scared. And I'm like, what happened? He goes, dude, the freaking police are after me. They've been chasing me for miles, like 30 miles maybe. And he was in a fast car, let's just say that. So he was with we were all friends, but when you're that age, you make out with your friends or whatever. And he and this one chick were making out on this little side road. Let's just say there was a highway with a fence separating this little gravel road. Let's say it's an access road. And he's making out with this girl, just, as teenagers do. And all of a sudden, he sees a flashlight coming towards his car, and he panics. And the car's already running, so he throws it in gear, and he takes off towards the flashlight because it was the only way out, and did not know it was a police officer. And he swerved into the ditch to avoid it, but the police officer with his flashlight blinding him, moved towards his car, and the mirror clips him. So they start shooting at him.
Oh,
He hits the road and is gone. Well, they could not really get to him because they had crossed a fence to get to him. So he just knew they were chasing him. So he's back roads the whole way, getting away. He would kill me if he knew I told this story. But he gets to the house, and we go and look at the car and see the bullet hole. There was one bullet hole through the trunk lid, through the back seat, and stuck in the console between them. It was stuck and embedded into the console. We dug it out, and he's like, my dad is going to kill me. And I'm like, no, dude, just tell him you backed into a hay spike. Good idea. So that's what he told him. He got home. Oh, yeah, I backed into a hay spike, poked a hole in the trunk, got it fixed, done. And he turned the bullet into a necklace.
a bullet that was fired at him by
So
a
he
cop
didn't know there was
for
two cops.
attempted murder with a vehicle.
Yeah, but he didn't know. He didn't know it was a cop. He had no idea. He thought he was a kid. He just sees a flashlight coming at him. He panics, and he wasn't trying to hit the person. He literally drove down in the ditch to avoid him, but they were trying to pinch him, trying to force him to stop. And then as he goes by, he realizes it's a cop. And I guess there was another cop that was sneaking up because they were trying to pinch him, and he didn't know there was another one behind him. And I don't know which one shot at him, but yeah, it was in the newspaper and everything.
Holy cow.
Yeah. That's a crazy story, too. These are my friends.
Wow.
These are my friends. And what's crazy is during this time, I recorded everything. Believe that? 16 years old, I would sneak off with my dad's VHS camera. It was this big. I probably told this. And everywhere I went, I recorded just about everything. I have on video outrunning the cops. I probably told that story.
Because we have the power of editing and a week to think about it. So
we have multiple weeks to think about it.
In my Jersey days, there was a time where I was really friendly with the Italian community. Mm-hmm. And they kind of took me under their wing. There was a restaurant called Goodfellas.
Is this how you developed that amazing accent with Blue Bunny?
That's what I sounded like when I first got here from Jersey.
Go ahead, sorry.
The Bluebell heist is on. I have this ongoing thing with Bluebell.
I know, I watched it today.
Everybody was like, I haven't seen one in a while. I can't believe you did it. And I'm getting friendly with the driver, so I'm thinking I'm gonna see if he's down for a video.
Okay.
You know, like hand him an envelope.
That'd be
maybe
funny.
Stevie, like something funny. But if you're there at sets, you gotta like follow me out because it's in that parking lot.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's behind the Kroger when I go around. But this restaurant called Goodfellas Restaurant, run by the Conti brothers, who are doctors by trade. But
do you need to give away names?
Most
this is okay.
People have passed or are too
just
old
in case. I don't want you to have regrets about
matter.
Names.
But and trust me with this one, I'm very careful what names I'm going to say. But the Contis were Dr. Dan and Dr. Ken. I believe Dr. Dan is still alive, but old, retired, smooth as hell. But you would know Dr. Dan because he was in Goodfellas, the movie. He was in Casino. He was in a lot of mafia movies because he knew a lot of these guys. And a lot of these guys would hang out at Goodfellas Restaurant in Garfield, New Jersey. And I was one of the only Hispanics ever allowed into this restaurant. And even though it's a public restaurant on the door, it was like private club kind of thing. Jimmy Sabini would play the piano and knows that my favorite song is, it's really called In Other Words, but everybody knows it as Fly Me to the Moon. Yeah. So I would walk in and he'd be like, Carlito. And then doon 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 doon, and I'd drop something. He had like an old fish bowl, and I'd drop it in there. And I remember like the docs would be like, "Hey kid," like slap me on the cheek, give me a kiss, and be like, "You know, you really changed my my opinion with you Spicks." Like he would be like, "I always thought you fucking guys like this and that." And I'm sorry, the cursing is.
That's okay. It's part of the story.
But he would say that, and he'd be like, "You know, you're a class act kid, like." You always come in here. You're very respectful. People like you. You tip well. You know old music, which is insane. He goes, "You're welcome here anytime." You know, and that started to be my hangout. And to my family's dismay, and I was still very involved with law enforcement, so it wasn't the smartest decision on my end. But anyway, we would hang out there, and I remember on one of my birthdays, Judge Billy, God rest his soul, was the actual owner of Bada Bing's from The Sopranos, the strip club that was Tony Soprano's like hangout and headquarters, where they had the office in the back. And that was off of, I believe, Route 3 in Jersey. And the real name of the place was Satin Dolls, but it doubled as Bada Bing's for the show. Well, Judge Billy was like one of the main owners. And I remember he brought me in, and he goes, grab two of your best friends. Come on in. I get a Nike shoebox. And he's like, "Happy birthday, kid. There's 2 rules. This money stays here. Don't do anything stupid. Don't take it out or anything like that. Boom, boom, room's all yours." And I mean, when I open this.
When you say the money stays here, is the money in the Nike shoebox?
The Nike shoebox was filled to the rim with cash.
Okay.
Not small denominations.
Okay.
And he must have gone to the safe or whatever, packed it up. He was like, "We love this kid. Like, here you go." This was the beginning of a birthday weekend. The beginning. And he's like, "Spend it here." And then he called the main girls over, and he's like, "These 3, anything they drink's on the house. Make sure they get home safe." He had like a Lincoln Town car to drive us home, the whole 9. And my friends are like, what the hell is going on? Who are you and what are you doing? And Judge Billy's just like, have a good time. Gave me a cigar. We have a good time. From there, I thought that's where the weekend ended for me. It did not. Another car comes in, and this guy whose name I cannot bring up because he's probably in files, takes me to Atlantic City with him. These guys all had a player's card, and everything was comped. And they took me to Atlantic City. The only thing I didn't partake in was a hooker, because he would always get like young hookers and all that. So I was like freaked out by it. And
I'm the same way.
I was like, oh, that's weird.
I've
man.
never even considered
That's like nuts. And so I'm in Atlantic City with these mobsters. And although they would never tell you that that's a real thing or exist, they were just playing it up or whatever. But it was very interesting how that worked. But anyway, so I'm here living it up with these guys. Like, they're taking me to like Bob's Steakhouse. They're doing all this stuff. They had a birthday cake for me. Didn't spend a dime. They were just like, yeah, man, we love you. You're one of us. Like, you're with us or whatever. Not with them, but like I was adopted into them without a title. And not that I could be anything because I'm Hispanic, but
yeah, you got to be Italian.
It was close enough to the point where my nephew that was here, Hector, told me years later that on one of his visits with his dad, they weren't allowed to hang out with me because my mom, of course, had exaggerated things and had convinced my family that I was an associate. But that I was hanging out with these people.
Makes the story better.
It was already very well known that I was, that these people are friends. And he's like, you can go anywhere you want. You can do this, but you're not going anywhere by yourself with your uncle. I don't want anything happening to you. And I'm like, it hurt my feelings even years later because I treated my nephews like gold. I'd take them out, go buy them clothes. They'd be able to walk into places, sit at the bar with me, like whatever they wanted. And they got treated wonderfully. Like, I would never put those kids in danger. And in all honesty, I was never in a crazy situation. I've watched doors for some meetings, stuff like that back in the day, but nothing nuts. Came across some characters that were doing, they were allegedly selling American documents. It's the easiest way I can put that. And bringing these beautiful exotic ladies that were paying something like 10, 15 grand a pop. And I'm wondering where this guy's getting all this money and why he always has beautiful women. He's always paying tabs and all this stuff. But like in a week, he's like, hey, Carlos, you got a couple $100 I could borrow. I'll give this back to you. And I'm like, I literally just saw you with like thousands of dollars. So I thought nothing of it. But eventually this one guy, we'll just call him Dave, ended up disappearing. And then it turns out like the FBI was coming around looking for him. He was like bringing these girls over, having them pay to come over. They were basically he was expensing his lifestyle based on them, never giving them the paperwork and like using them right up until he could. But I mean, the guy had so many connections. It was like you bought it. We would go into Brooklyn. We would go into like these after hours, all this stuff. And you'd walk in and they'd be like, oh, hey, how you doing, Mr. Dave or whatever. And if I was with them, they already knew me. They knew what I drank. Like then that I got mixed up with people that were in the Albanian version of that in Northern Jersey. It was a very interesting part of my life, but I learned a lot. Loyalty, keeping quiet. They taught me how to dress. I have like my pinky rings and my watches were like, these guys gave me my first like Nino Cerruti suit, which is like fine, like a $2,000 suit. And I'm a kid. I'm a kid hanging with these dudes. And then I'd remember like popping into local bars and stuff around my area. And there was this one time I got an invitation to a wedding, but it was in a blank envelope. So it looked like something else. And this other dude runs up to me and he's like, hey man, everybody knows who you are. How do I do what you do? And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, you come in here, you get all this respect. And there's these people handing, and I think he thought I was getting like a piece of the place. And I wasn't. It was an invitation to the guy's like thing. But I had happened to be in a sports coat and all that, and it was very like, thank you, and I'm putting it right here. And I knew that existed, but I really wasn't a part of that or anything like that. But I was headed in a not great direction if I kept that going. Now, what I will say is, I've been in Tennessee 11 years now. If I fly to Jersey or New York for any reason whatsoever, number one, I've had people call me that they know I'm there, and they still like, they check in on me every once in a while. There's still people that I talk to, and I will go to Jersey and I have to make a stop to show a little love and respect from all those times. Like, it's amazing that they haven't forgotten me or anything like that. And I have nothing business wise with them in any way, shape, or form. But once you get kind of taken under a wing, they don't let go. Yeah. And that's about as broadly as I could bring that up.
I understand your family. Perception's everything. So they're going to imagine the worst. And like you said, the trajectory would have ended up bad if you stayed in that. Because they don't force anybody.
No.
You know, but you show you're cool and trustworthy, then they're going to start leveraging that to use you.
They made life very fun for a young kid.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in a $2,000 suit, man. Like, I've never seen $2,000 at that point in my life. And of course, proximity to power is an illusion, and it's intoxicating. And then women and people want to get close to you because you're close to that. So now you start getting this sense of grandeur and self-importance. And I was a cocky little shit.
And you was a police officer.
And I was a police officer.
Yeah.
And
you were getting recruited.
So there was all sorts of stuff. But then crazy stuff started happening. Like, that guy got investigated by the FBI. We found out it was all that fraud. And then Judge Billy died in his sleep. Allegedly. And I mean, God rest his soul, because he was a beautiful man to me. He was fantastic to me. But that went on for a few years. This wasn't like a season or a summer. Like, I got used to going to Atlantic City. I got used to being taken in cars and all this kind of stuff. And while I was never like directly like tit for tat, I was like, this could end up I was like, the badge is going and I'm going to end up in this place, or God only knows. Cause I had nothing to do with that town. I was a cop a few towns over, you know, there was nothing like that, but there was enough for people to think I was in, or I was a friend.
See, I think the moral of the story is that even Jesus can save us too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there was some wild times in that. It's just details that I still can't bring up. But
I can see how that shaped you.
But it's very much still in me.
Yeah.
You know, definitely in the way I dress and the jewelry and the stuff like that. Like, I had several educations.
Yeah, I was going to say it makes more sense while you're very particular with your clothes. You know what I mean? You have a collection, and it makes more sense. Yeah. It had to shape you.
Yeah, like the fact that I don't wear suits and stuff anymore is like.
But you have. You
tell my people from Jersey. Oh,
I've seen you online. You dress up pretty nice.
I can clean up.
I've never dressed that nice. Yeah. Not even for a wedding.
I mean, I have a collection of pinky rings and like stuff. I still have a lot of the gifts they gave me, but they taught me like the details.
Yeah.
You know, handkerchiefs and matching this with that, and just never wear a belt and suspenders, and like there's just these unwritten rules. And then, you know, you start making a little extra money and you start spending it like them when you're not living that, like, you know,
when you're not making that kind of money,
making that, and
trying to keep up the illusion.
And well, I was making a little money, but
that's the story
that
he won't tell.
But you know, I'd go to the restaurant and Mexican cooks in the back at this crazy Italian restaurant, as long as the head chef, and they would send me free appetizers and free plates, and the Spanish guys would come out and they were like so proud that there was a Latino in with these hardcore old school high level Italian people. Like, I met almost everybody from The Sopranos.
Really?
Like, I hung out with Frank Vincent. I have pictures with him. I was at a book signing with him. I walk in, he's doing a book signing, and I'm like, hey, Mr. Vincent, you know, I'm Carlos from Goodfellas. And he's like, Mr. Vincent, you know, like, he's like, kid, I know who you are. And I'm like, he's like, you going to Goodfellas? We're going to have a little party later. You come upstairs, because you never went to the second floor at Goodfellas. That's where stuff happened and meetings and things occurred.
Business.
And there was a Rolls Royce parked in front, and the license plate said Goodfellas. And like, I mean, it to the point of like the minutia, like I would roll up and I knew my status was going up, because instead of parking my car in the back, my car was parked up front with all these guys. And then, like, you know, like I was living this crazy life, but living at home, because there's no other freaking way I would have ever afforded it. But like, they'd send me all this free stuff and I'd tip as much as my bill was, because, you know, you have to live up to it, and you have to, and it was intoxicating.
Yeah.
It was I can see why people back in those days would just, the working man is a sucker.
I would have been
and
right
all that
beside
kind
you.
of stuff.
Just be cool. Don't draw any unnecessary attention.
Yeah.
That's like a character development opportunity and a test of yourself in a way that would I be accepted? You know what I mean? It's like a reflection on your own character in some way to kind of maybe see
accepted.
where you stand.
As far as I could be.
I think that's the intoxicating part. Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm a decent person and they respect me. And so in my mind.
And the people that would give you compliments, like especially Dr. Ken, you know, the one that slapped me on the face and like talked about Spix and all that. Believe it or not, that was a big compliment. Those old school guys.
Yeah.
To say like, you know, it was like, you know, you're not one of us, but you could be around us.
Yeah.
And then they would teach me and you know, they were like, I don't get how you're this young and you've got it together and you present yourself well and blah, blah, blah. So part of that was a good upbringing.
Yeah.
But I love the mafia movies and I love the stuff. And I was like, oh my God, this is real. And I'm kind of living it.
Yeah.
And
you're reminding me of the black guy on Tulsa King.
Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah.
No, Tulsa King.
He's
his driver.
The driver.
Yeah, you're reminding me like the entry level.
I will
like
tell you
because he
what.
had just admired the lifestyle so much.
It was
I know
incredible.
you didn't go that far with it, but not so quick, Nate.
His name's Tyson on the show.
Tyson, that's right.
So I have a lot in common with him because there was a brief time I got a little too big for my britches. And like my brother and I, that's from Jersey, that's a totally different story. I can't tell his business, but we were on opposite sides of, let's say, the law at the time. And he was pretty big and well known and respected, and I was coming up a little too fast, and it got to my head, and we butted heads because he's like, "You're my little brother. Like, who do you think you are?" And I'm like, "You're not going to embarrass me in front of people. Who do you think you are?" And then we didn't talk for like probably 6-7 months. And we ended up reuniting through our sister Titi, and it was baby shower for his wife.
You told that story.
Yeah. And
so that's what led up to that.
That's
story.
what led up to that. And I, you know, like sent every gift I could with other, you know, and
sitting
then,
across the street,
you know, and I'm sitting across the street at a bar, Liquid Courage kind of thing. But there was a while where like I kind of expected the treatment where I walked in, and you kind of knew better, so you had to, just because. And it got to my head for a while, and I'm glad that I went through it because like that's something I never ever want to be, even if I've got it like that. It was a shitty time. I was a shithead. But being that young and being exposed to money and privilege and power and that kind of thing, even though I didn't have an ounce of it, it was just, I was power adjacent.
Yeah.
And, being in your 20s and you get flashy and stupid, you know?
And here you thought you didn't even have a story to tell.
Well, that's one of those stories I hold in, but I have to be really, really careful about how I tell it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of other stuff I could tell you off that would make great podcasting, but I can't go there.
Well, that's the power of being able to cut things out. And we don't really cut many things out, only if it's necessary.
And I'll be honest with you, part of me still kind of misses some of that, you know, and for a long time, I was real resentful about it, leaving it and all that. Leaving Jersey was one of the best things that ever happened to me. And then the veterans program was by far the best thing that's ever happened to me. Yeah. I don't know that I would have followed those if I wasn't a drinker back then, but part of me thinks I would have done it a lot smarter.
Yeah. Man, you did good. You're still doing good with your life.
You know, but I still have a little bit of that in me.
Yeah, as you should. I mean, it was big. It was influential.
You know, the lessons will never leave me, but sometimes I think now that I've put away that monster and therapy helps and all that good stuff, I think, especially even at work, I think because I'm so polite and professional and kind, they mistake that quite often for weakness. And sometimes that monster's knocking on the door going, you have no idea what I'm capable of. And not like as a physical threat, even though capable of that too, but I could cut you down in very many different ways. But it's not the Christian thing to do. It's not and I fight. Sometimes I got to talk myself down from Pinky Ring Carlos because he's still in there, but break glass in case of war, I suppose.
I don't think any of my stories, none of mine are like that. Mine are all near death. I don't have a lot of, I can't hardly think of any stories that are like somebody like in my life that is a big deal. Brennan, what about you? You got any stories that were life-changing for you? You can even tell some that may have something to do with me.
Probably not that I could think of.
Well, do you want to think on it for a second? Do you have any life lessons where you realize I will never do that again? Mm-hmm. Not necessarily with me, but just in life. Things I don't know about.
Yeah, but I don't really want to tell.
Why not?
It's not really necessary.
It's kind of fun though.
No.
It's what would you say? Therapeutic.
Maybe.
That's why I'm so healthy. I tell all my shit.
You're the epitome of health.
The only famous person I really remember meeting and kind of getting close to, and I don't know how famous he is, but I slept on Fred Corey's couch once, and nobody knows who that is.
Not a clue.
Well, there was a band in the 90s called Cinderella. She took the last train out of my heart. Or You Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone. These are huge songs that everybody knows. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Maybe it's just your singing voice.
It's my singing voice. I'll tell the story because it's funny because it's kind of close to him in a weird way. So his mom, before he was born, when I was just dating her, she was living right outside of Chicago. She had flown in, spent the week with me, and I took her to the airport, dropped her off, and I get back home, and my old roommate, Maria, stopped by and threw a CD at me. And she goes, do you know this band? I said, I do. I grew up on that music. And she goes, well, I'm dating the drummer, and he wants to meet you. I'm like, what? Okay, let's do it. So we jump in her car. We go to Nashville, and there was a bar called Outer Limits. Do you remember Outer Limits?
Yes.
It was that theater on Nolensville Road. It was the coolest club that's ever existed around Nashville. And every old theater was a club. And there was one that had like a pirate ship in it. Do you remember
definitely
this?
Did not see that, but
it had a ship that come out of the corner of the room, and it was a huge dance floor. I mean, we used to have amazing clubs back in the day.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was incredible.
My brother used to DJ in Nashville when I would fly in from Jersey. Mm-hmm. So, okay, I have some more stories now.
Okay, well, I'll finish this one.
And also, could you say theater one more
time?
Theater. Theater.
So this was an amazing club, and I'm not really intimidated by people, and I don't get starstruck. Super cool guy. He was the drummer. It was funny because he was in all leather. I thought, damn, he's really still playing this shit out. But they were still touring. They were still a big name. And so we hit it off. And then before it was over with, I got invited back to his place. He lived in a penthouse downtown Nashville, high up in one of the like apartment penthouses, like almost top floor. And all these girls came over, a couple girls, not a ton, but I was in love with his mom. And I could not even, because there was a girl there that they had brought for me to hang out with. And I was so in love with his mom, I did not even consider it. It was not an option. People go in the bedroom and do their thing. And this is the funny part of the story. This guy was a roommate. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine. But he was a dick. I didn't like him. He was a smart ass. And come to find out, have you ever seen the movie Final Destination, the original movie?
Of course.
Okay.
Hate those movies.
The original was pretty decent.
Drive behind anything on the road without posting Final Destination.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
there was
you
a
know.
white cop and a black cop. Well, this guy apparently was the white cop in that movie. So what would he be? Like a G-list actor? You know, nothing major. You know, a backup role. But yeah, he was kind of a dick. Not really a dick to me, just his arrogance.
Don't say G-list. You know what's funny? I got Raina, this is your fault. She called me a Z-list celebrity. She goes, "You're really coming up in this podcast thing, you Z-lister." And
That's pretty funny.
I said, "Wait a minute. I'm a solid W." Like, don't throw me to the end, man. And if you take me to Jersey, I'm a couple letters up.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, that just
Well, there's not much more to the story because I was so in love, I wouldn't even talk to this girl. I mean, I knew I was marrying this girl. I just knew I was marrying his mom. And it wasn't long after that I had married her. But I'll never forget the next morning, I wake up, Maria's waking me up, and she looks like a damn hooker. And we're getting on the elevator of this penthouse, and this high-profile guy, you can tell, well-dressed. I'm standing there with her, and she looks just like a hooker. I'm thinking, this dude thinks I'm her pimp.
oh my God.
It was so funny. Oh man, yeah, that was a funny time.
Platform shoes
Ended up
and
staying in
all.
touch, hooking up, and hanging out with him multiple times. Just a really rock solid. Like I remember, I was in his car, and he was listening to classical music. We're in like this Range Rover, listening. I'm thinking, I thought this is a damn rock star. Yeah, he was like classically trained musician.
Probably want to disconnect. I mean,
Yeah.
you see those rock stars that are like, there's that guy who's a astrophysicist, and
Yeah.
is it not White Snake? Oh my God, the guys in the leather with the whips, but that's quite a few of them, isn't it? Alice
Cooper? Yeah,
Like,
super
they're
brilliant.
hella smart.
Yeah.
And they look how they make their living. I mean, look at Gene Simmons and the Kiss guys. Like the guy's a marketing genius and owns every business under the sun, but he's the demon and sticks his tongue out. Like
Yeah.
it's the weirdest thing ever, but it's just ride out the talent, make the money, baby.
Yeah. Well, that's the only famous person story I can think of that was worthy of telling. But what stuck out was I'm looking at all these gold and platinum records in this living room, and I'm just mesmerized. I'm like, Appetite for Destruction? Why do you have an appetite? Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. And I guess they were minus a drummer, and he did the drums on that album. And I'm sitting there like, that's crazy. That's crazy. So, yeah, I cherished that little memory.
That's kind of cool.
It is
That's
kind of
kinda
cool.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool. What about you, Brennan? You ever met any famous people? Camera 3, please. I don't need to be. Do I need to start switching cameras?
Anybody famous before?
Nobody. Who's the most interesting person you've ever met?
I've been
Just talk in the microphone. I gave you a mic.
concert, and I seen a rapper named DaBaby that you probably don't know.
No.
He's not my favorite, but it was cool.
Did you meet him?
Yeah, I met him. I dapped him up. It was cool.
Dapped him up. What does
Yeah,
that
well, he
mean?
jumped into like the stands where me and Jace were.
Yeah.
And he started throwing shoes, and there's this really tall guy, and we kept saying, "Just get behind us so we can both like enjoy the show." And then he kept saying, "We're all trying to enjoy the show, whatever." And he kept getting in front of us. But we had another friend with us that was a bigger dude, and he started throwing shoes, and the guy in front of us that was blocking the whole show caught it, and we all jumped on top of him. And then my friend grabbed the shoe, and then he ended up just getting pushed to the back. And then he came into the crowd and started like high-fiving everybody. And
Yeah,
that
that's
was
pretty
about
cool.
the famous person I met, probably.
Do you think it's hard for you to tell these stories because I'm in here?
Not that one specifically, but
Well, I'm just talking about in general, like the other stories. Well, what if I'm dead soon and I never get to hear about them? I mean, you survived them. So, I mean, I want to hear them too. The whole world does.
Podcast needs to hear my stories.
I think it's important. This is a document. This is a documentary. This is a project.
I'll give you one. I got an embarrassing
let's hear it.
one.
We're on an hour and a half, by the way.
Okay, we'll
Yeah,
start
we can
wrapping
keep
up.
this one short. So I was working for a private security for a pretty heavy luxury brand. And I was exposed to a lot of artists and people that, being a Jersey boy that wasn't in the country, I had no idea. But everybody knows who Garth Brooks is.
Everybody.
So dad shoes, sneakers, hoodie, and a ball cap. Coolest guy, most humble ever. He comes in. Eventually, I'm out by this coffee shop because I can't say or everybody will know what the luxury store is. But, and I said, "Hey, Mr. Brooks, I'm actually a big fan. Like, I'm not super big in the country, but who doesn't know you?" And I asked him for a photo. And he was the kindest, like just down to earth dude. I know there's a conspiracy theory that he's a serial killer. But
Yeah.
there, you know,
I'm kind of leaning into it.
He's with this lady who I looked at like, who's this frumpy broad? Like maybe it's his assistant or something like that. So he's like, sure, you have your phone. And I'm like, yes. And I look around and so do they. And I hand her my cell phone. And she kind of just looked at me, but she was cool with it. She takes a picture of me and Garth. And I walk back inside and I'm like, yeah, I got a picture with Garth Brooks. Like, you know, I'm really living the Nashville life now. And everybody's like, well, why didn't you take a picture with her? And I'm like, who, the frumpy broad? Like,
How do you describe frumpy real quick?
Heavy set, like,
Okay, go ahead. I just wanted to know.
kind of dude clothes.
Yeah.
Like she was dressed like
Was
him.
that Trisha
She
Yearwood?
was dressed like him. Come inside and they were like, dude, that was Trisha Yearwood. And I'm like, who the hell is Trisha Yearwood? Turns out it was Mrs. Trisha Yearwood.
Yeah.
They're playing her music. They're doing all that. And I'm like, well, that doesn't look like that lady. And so it turns out the picture of me and Garth Brooks was taken by Trisha Yearwood, who I just thought was nobody and handed her my phone. But they all said that like it was they probably got a huge laugh out of it that I had no idea who that. And I started this with, I'm from the North.
No, you also said, I don't know much about your music, Mr.
Yeah.
Brooks.
Yeah.
So if you don't know much about his, you ain't going to know anything about her.
But everybody was riding me for about a week on that. It was just hilarious that she did that. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
You going to give
pretty
us that picture so I can flash it on the screen?
I can get you that picture. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have
Well, I
it. in there.
definitely have a picture.
Just I ended up in I'll give you a really quick one.
No, yeah, keep
sorry.
going.
I
People
ended
love
up
stories.
in a luxury mansion in Nashville for a photo shoot. And the best part of was like the craft services, the guest services. And obviously I couldn't drink because I was on duty and protecting the stuff I was protecting and all that. And what I didn't realize was just how comfortable these people were, like especially models and stuff like that. So I'm sitting in a room like this on a couch, got my briefcase and all this stuff. Everybody in the room.
Perfect job for
Yeah.
you, by the way.
Everybody's gorgeous. Everybody. Like these women, 11s. And they're like changing for the shoot. And all of a sudden I'm looking and there's boobs over there. There's boobs over there. There's a butt. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like this is crazy. I've never seen it.
Keep them to yourself.
And yeah. And one of the girls is like, oh, honey, is this your first time at one of these? And I'm like, yes, ma'am. And I'm like, not even looking at her. And, you know, I snuck a couple peeks when they weren't looking, but, you know, and they just didn't care. They were just open. They were like, this is work. Like, it's just boobs. Relax. And I'm like, well, I'm not used to seeing this many without singles being thrown somewhere. And here I am in this mansion. And so anyway, we go through that. I go to the crafts table and they had awesome barbecue. So I'm like, let's go. I'm getting all this. And this beautiful woman comes right next to me. She's like, can I get you something to drink, honey? Oh my God, it's Nicole Kidman.
You're lying.
She was the center of this particular shoot. There was
She have
other
her
girls
boobs out
there.
too?
Huh?
She have her boobs
She did
out
not.
too?
She was super.
She showed them in wide shut, so we've all seen them.
Oh yeah, but this was not that long ago, so like it's a little older. Nicole. First of all, she looks like a Barbie doll. Yeah. She's super tall, gorgeous. But what caught me was that Nicole Kidman offered to get the security guy a drink. And when I like double took and I looked at her and I was like, ma'am, and I got up and I'm just like, may I get you something? I'll get it for you. Like you're freaking Nicole Kidman, you know? And she's like, sweetheart, you sit down and eat. I appreciate you being here. Professional, really kind. And she like sat down there and she didn't eat anything, but she just sat down with everybody for a little bit. And I get why she's Nashville royalty. I could not believe, just plain as day, like I'm just a really nice person. It was amazing. It's just,
that's awesome.
Part of the.
You probably have more of these.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to start. So we'll have some more story times. Maybe that's what we'll do for ours. Hey, but before I go any further, have you ever slung some singles?
No.
You know what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Well, why do you not turn the camera to you?
You caught me off guard.
You've never been to a strip club.
No, it doesn't seem
Good for
very
you.
interesting.
My boy.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I mean, I'm not like into
I wouldn't have been disappointed if you had been. I think, you don't necessarily go because you want to meet girls or I think,
No.
I never wanted to go, oh, God, I got stories about that.
Not going to turn one of
We'll
those
save
into a
those
house
stories.
party.
Holy shit, I'll never forget the first time. I never wanted to go. I was like, I ain't no simp. I ain't paying to see a chick. But come to find out, we did have a lot of fun. A group of guys can have fun.
So
doing
I'm
that.
with you on that because the only times
When I
went
was younger, you
were
wouldn't catch me
because
now.
of events. Like I wouldn't. It's Friday night. Let me go hang out at the.
No,
at the
that's
like,
thing's
that's not
sad.
me either.
I
That's
did not
sad,
want to
yeah.
be. Yeah.
And there's
yeah.
guys that would pay just for them to talk to them. It
Holy
was
shit!
weird.
I've got strip club stories.
Yeah.
I've only been like 3 times in my life, but I have stories from at least 2 of them, maybe 3.
I think we need to call this one the wind down. Like we did a break and
Yeah.
told some stories.
Yeah, I know we're going to wrap up the show,
yeah.
but maybe we should do story time. I was thinking I have dozens of like
Every once
repo
in a while,
stories.
just do that. Yeah.
They're crazy.
And I can come prepared with some stories instead of off the rip.
I mean,
because I wasn't expecting to tell
well,
my Italian.
I think it's
Like-
important for me to document these things, and I had to tell that crazy ass story just to get something out of you guys. So I went real extreme.
That story has been on the tip sometimes where there's been opportunities to interject with it, but I'm very protective of that and kind of really like that can go down a rabbit hole. And while it's really cool, and I got to know it's a part of my life and very impactful. Like that, I will carry that with me forever, I think. But it's also, I have to realize I'm enamored with the era. I'm enamored with like the mob and the style and the Gaudis and all that stuff.
How many movies have been made about it?
About that. Like
Why wouldn't
there's
you
something mob, I know it. There's something Frank Sinatra, quiz me. Like, I was born in the wrong era and a little too brown, but like if I could be transported and I could choose any time, I'd probably be a gangster. Like the old school, you take the gory stuff out of it, but just like that whole rubbing elbows with stars and they want to be with you. Like, I just dig that stuff. Yeah. And the dress, men were men and you smoked cigars and you drank your scotch and you dressed well and you had a handkerchief for the lady, even though that's kind of unsanitary, but you know what I'm saying? Just that stuff. And I'll close with this one.
Okay, we'll let Carlos close with this one.
There's a guy from Brooklyn that was a restaurant owner, but very connected to the same Italian friends. And he opened a restaurant. Now he's got several restaurants here in Nashville. I haven't seen this man 12, 15 years, somewhere in there. And there's a big friend of mine. She's a big personality. If she ever flies here, we're having her on. Okay. She used to run the Rockettes on Radio City Music Hall. If there is a celebrity or somebody, she knows them. To talk about her real quick, and I have to ask her permission to say her name or anything, but I'm in Miami. Okay, this is a side quest. I'm in Miami, and there's a restaurant called Rayo's. Rayo's is a long-standing restaurant in Brooklyn with like 8 tables. Standing reservations. You have to die and be left this reservation. Like, it's super hard for Joe Blow to walk in. Well, they opened one in Miami. So I call my friend, and she said, "Hey, sweetheart, you got to go to Rayo's. You're going to be in Miami. You got to do this, doll." Like that's how she talks. Like, she's real bigger than life, New York.
I can't wait to have her.
And she might be worth even like FaceTiming or something.
Okay.
Like she's
Let's fly her in.
incredible human. She would fly in a heartbeat for me. Like
We'll
her
split
daughter
it.
calls me uncle. Like it's so anyway, she's like, "No problem." I get a text message back about, I swear to you, 20 minutes, no more. You got a reservation. It was like the next day at 7:30 at this restaurant in Miami. Through a phone call, we walk in and like we're getting the royal treatment, and we're sitting down and they come over and the managers come over and they're shaking my hand and saying hello, and they're like, "Boy, so like, who are you?" They're like, "We got some pretty high up phone calls to get you in here." Like, it was a Goodfellas. They put a table there for us.
Wow.
Style thing. All because she, out of the goodness of her heart, was like, "I know you're going to love this. You guys have to go here. I made it happen for you. Treat them well." It's, I pulled a favor. So anyway, she did that, but side story. So it's her birthday and she's in Nashville now. And we're walking into this new restaurant at the time. And the owner of it, we'll call him Tony, and bald dude, super smooth, very Brooklyn. She comes in bigger than life. "Hey, baby," they're hugging and they're kissing and they're all this stuff. The dude stops, stares at me up and down, and he goes, "Carlos?" And I'm like, "How the hell do you know me?" He goes, "You were a cop in Jersey, and we met in Brooklyn. And this year and this time, you used to come to the restaurant. Stand-up guy. I remember you." Shook my hand, gives me a kiss. And my date and the people that I'm with are just like, fuck. But he blew my mind because he had that memory from them. But so now it's funny that later on in life, the older you get, the smaller the world becomes.
Yeah.
Now they're here, and some of those couple degrees of separation, but one of those just really cool stories where for a split second I was that guy in Jersey again. You know?
Here you didn't even have a story to tell, and you got some of the best.
Yeah. So
That's a good way to end the
we'll leave it
podcast.
there. Stay in school, kids.
Just quit school. It's a waste of your time. That's my
The working
opinion.
man is a sucker.
Life school is what you need.
We need a little bit of both.
Yeah, I agree. Sixth
little-
grade, then dip.
Love it.
Well, that's all we got, folks. Until next time. So long, friends.